Hello Griffin families, it's Mr Eccles here, and I just wanted to give you a quick update of what we will be doing in Spring 2. So in Spring 2, our topic is Wriggle and Crawl, and it is all about mini beasts and how they live. So in our English for this topic, we are focusing on the books Superworm, Tadpole's Promise, and The Snail and the Whale. And as you might be able to tell from these books, we are looking at fiction writing. So we are looking at making characters, making our own storylines, and using books to help us improve our own writing, maybe changing the ending or thinking about how the characters might feel and writing about that. We're really trying to push our writing lots and lots, and we are working every day on our handwriting. And to help at home, you could really support your children to read. The children are at such a good reading level now, and their reading has improved so much throughout the year already. We think that allowing them to read both independently and with their grown-ups would be really beneficial to push them further and further into their fluency and their comprehension. So if you're at home, it'd be a really great idea to use the Mayan provided. There are lots of mini beasts typed books on there that would be really great to read. We also have our Biff, Chip and Kibble books that we send home, or some children now are going home with library books, which is fantastic. And then they get their AR quizzes in school. And there is also our phonics books, the ones that are on Oxford Owl, and these books can be read completely independently by the children. They are matched to their reading level, so the children should have no problems reading it. If they do and they find it a bit tricky, please come and let us know, because we might need to look at their groups and maybe change them around a little bit. Again, if they're finding it really, really easy, let us know, because that's fantastic. In our maths work this half term, we are looking at length and height to begin with. So we're going to be measuring lots of things in centimetres and metres and comparing them. And we're also going to be using our 4 operations to look into length and height. Our 4 operations are addition, subtraction, division and multiplication. And we will also be looking at these 4 operations within mass, capacity and temperature. So we're going to be looking at how to use units to measure these things. So kilograms and grams for weight, as well as litres, millilitres for capacity, and how to measure temperature. And again, we will be looking at, and you could help with this at home, if we have 2 objects that are 5 centimetres long, how long might they be together? So we know that 5 and 5 make 10, so there'll be 10 centimetres. And the same, we might have 500 millilitres, or maybe a bit less of a number than that. Maybe we might have 15 millilitres, and we want to drink 5 millilitres of the water. How much water is left? So again, we've got 15 minus 5, so we know that we've got 10 millilitres left. And this is something you could help with at home, using rulers or tape measurers or cups to compare what's more and what's less. And if you're up for a challenge, maybe writing down how many centimetres something might be, maybe in baking with measuring out ingredients. That'd be a really fantastic way to get this in at home. And we will also have our Times Table Rock Stars every other week, and our spelling bees up for your homework also. In science this half term, we are looking at mini beasts and where to find them. We are also looking at how to tell if something is living, dead, or if it's never been alive. So we've been looking at lots of different states of living. So we call it Mrs. Gren, and the children should know that these are all the elements a thing must have to be living. So we know that animals are living, and we know that plants are also living, but in slightly different ways. And we know that objects such as cars and such as tables have never been alive. In history, we are looking into Sir David Attenborough, as we thought this would be really great with the mini beast topic, and we'll be looking more into his life, and we'll be doing lots of writing through our history also. In Spanish, we have a Spanish Day coming up where we will be looking at Spanish foods, but we also look at Spanish daily with numbers and sounds and different songs and different small greetings. In geography, we are looking at maps and keys. We'll be making a map of our school grounds and talking about the different areas of our school grounds. We've got wooded areas, we've got grassy areas, and we've got areas with buildings in, and being able to follow these maps around. In art and DT, we are looking at mixing paints and exploring texture and pattern, as well as being able to evaluate our work and maybe go back to our work and improve it, and being able to more critically dissect the work that we have created. In DT, we are looking at levers and mechanisms and creating lots of different things with tools and equipment, which will be lots of fun. In music, we are looking at identifying contrast within music through dynamics, rhythms and structures. The children really love our music lessons, and we like to try and get the instruments out to let them have a play. And in RE, we are looking at celebrating special times with a focus on Judaism and Islam. In computing, we are looking at data and what data is, how we can present data with pictograms and diagrams, and how we can track data with things like tallies and charts. In PE, we are doing PE twice a week again. So Mr. Eccles' class will be doing it on Wednesdays and Fridays, and Mrs. Bennett's class will be doing it on Thursdays and Fridays. One session will be with our PE teachers, and that is our gymnastics topic, and the other one will be with our teachers, so me and Mrs. Bennett or Mrs. G, and that will all be about health and well-being, and it'll be about improving our agility. In PSHE this half term, we are looking at basic survival needs, how to keep a positive mind and body, pollution, global warming and recycling, as well as exploring our way around unfamiliar places and using the sky at night to navigate, which links into our geography topic. We also have two student teachers with us this half term and next half term. They are Miss Core, who is in 2SB, and Miss Gale, who is in 2JE. The children have got to know these teachers very well already, and they are really loving the extra members of staff in their class. Also this half term, some children are continuing the Read Writing Phonics scheme to help them read the different sounds within words and to really build up their sound knowledge before moving on to the comprehension scheme. Some of the children are on the comprehension scheme, and they are looking at different English devices to support them with their SATs papers. Speaking of the SATs, with this coming up, we have begun our mock testing. The children have enjoyed this process, and we are trying to get them used to how to answer different questions and how to work through the papers. We've been given SAT-style questions since the very beginning of the year, through the start of their English and their maths lessons. So they are very well aware of what is on the papers, and they know exactly what the questions will look like. But we think that now we are in the run-up to SAT, it is a good chance now to begin looking at these actual papers together and working our way through them. If you have any further questions about SATs, you can let me and Mrs. Bennett know, and we will support you as best as possible. Thank you. Bye.